गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री Gurave Namaha. Now we are okay. So we are in Katha Upanishad, first chapter, second Valli, and we are on verse 16 and 17 verses. The two verses, they make one thought explaining what Om is. That was the previous verse. And the 16th verse said, Etadhyevaksharam Brahma, Etadhyevaksharam Param, Etadhyevaksharam Nyatva, Yo Yadicchati Tasya Tata. Akshar etadhye etadhi eva aksharam brahma. Akshara means that which never reduces. Our body is continuously reducing. But how is it reducing? One day it will become zero. It's already melting away. Like it or we don't. Our houses, our phones, our TVs, our washing machines, our everything that we know objectively has a end date in it. It is slowly, it functions for some time and then eventually it reduces, deteriorates and eventually goes back to its cause. So is also our body. But what is this akshara? What is this etadhyeva aksharam brahma? This Om itself is that akshara, that which does not reduce, meaning that which never goes through any change. That itself is Brahma, etadhyeva aksharam param. And so here Brahma, when it is told, Brahma here means the Hiranyagarbha, the creator. And the second part of the first line, etadhyevaksharam param, that this akshara, this Om itself is the absolute param. Param means the transcendental one, that which is beyond everything, that which is not a cause for anything nor a result or effect of anything. And that is param. Etadhyevaksharam nyatva, and the one who knows this Om, this akshara Om, this irreducible Om, yo yadicchati tasya tata, whatever he desires, either in this world or the transcendental, becomes one with it. His desire is fulfilled. And last week we were talking about, we did the bhashya of it, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. We did the bhashya. See the why we are not successful in our daily life. Why we are not successful? Successful is not just some people who don't have money, they want money, but they keep cribbing, it is not coming. Some people have money, but they don't have peace of mind. They keep complaining. Some people have peace of mind. Bhagwan is not giving me darshan, so they complain. Some people have attained the vision of the Lord, but they want to know the self. And continuously they are seeking, they are miserable. We have taken a vow that we are going to be ever miserable and never be happy. The only reason at the empirical level, at the worldly level, why do we find people incapable of achieving what they set out to achieve? Only one reason: their mind is not single pointed. See, so we have to train our mind. And instead of, and as I was telling you last week, we may call Shiva, we may call Narayana, we may call Ram, we may call Krishna, and because our staying power is not there, if you are chanting Krishna, 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 and the results that you want are not coming because you want instant gratification. You want your desires to be instantly fructified. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It may happen once or twice, but that's it. Not every time. And then you change the Lord. Then you change the religion. Then you change your practices from Kundalini to Kriya, Kriya to Yoga, Yoga to Vedanta, Vedanta. Vedanta is not a practice anyway. Or you go and do Upasana. And this way we keep running from pillar to post, thinking this path, this guru, this God, this religion, this ashram, that temple, that pilgrimage will deliver. What will it deliver? My desires must be satisfied. And nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to bring about that synchronization within. And how does that synchronization, that internal integrity that comes about, how does it come about? It comes about only when our mind becomes focused, single pointed on something. And choose here in this particular verse, it is told that this Om, what do you want? You want, majority of us, what are we? See, our problem is that we want to keep one foot in this world and we want reality also. That is our problem. We want our relations, we want our possessions, we want our bank balance to keep increasing, we want everything in this world. And at the same time, we want to pursue the reality, we want to go higher and higher in our spiritual pursuit. And that leads to frustration. Our second problem that we have. Second problem is we have we have listened, we have read so many books, we have heard so many satsangs that we have knowledge of every damn thing that is under this sky. But we are not ready to practice anything. That is a second reason why things don't come to us. See, truth is here and now. It is not based on some parampara. It is not based on some ideology. It is not based on some philosophy. It is not based on some religion. It is not based on some, imagination or inference. Truth is here and now. And how do you come to the truth here and now? Your mind is distracted, multi-pointed, running here, there, everywhere. You have to bring it to this present moment. And for that, you choose something to hold on, which will bring you to the moment. And that is Om rather than some God. And here, this Upanishad itself is saying that Om is able to etadhyevaksharam Brahma. When we contemplate, focus on Om, you must have heard that story of the genie. One villager went to a Mahatma outside the village in the jungle, on the outskirts of the jungle. He said, "Oh man, my wife is troubling me. She wants this, she wants that. She doesn't even allow me to sleep. I'm having a ear bashing every day. And I am what type of a man I am. I'm not able to give her anything. Please help me." He gives him one some contraption, one bottle. Yeah, bottle. He says, "Go home, you rub it, and that's it." And you say, and then whoever comes, you have to remember that when you go. Anyway, he just tells this, the Mahatma tells this. This fellow thinks, "Oh, what a foolish fellow, gave me only one bottle. What will bottle do for all my wishes?" He comes home, he rubs the bottle, immediately the genie comes out. He says, "Yes, my master, what can I do for you?" He says, "Go and bring me," what is the first thing? Maslow's pyramid. First is food, shelter, and clothing. So give me food. Oh, immediately. 1 second is not over. Oh, food, buffet of food. Before he could even put the food into his mouth, the genie said, "Oh, my master, tell me what I should do next." He says, "What do you mean? Let me eat the food." "No, no, no, no. You have invoked me. You have to keep me busy. If you don't keep me busy, I'll eat you up." He said, "Okay, go and stitch clothes for all my children and myself. Then build a big house and do this, do that, do the farming, put the water to the farms." Then when all his needs were over, he said, "Go and help my neighbors, go and help my village." The genie, in a blink of an eye, was able to help everyone until, and by the time genie had done all this farmer, he had not even been able to eat 1 or 2 bites of food. And the genie was able to accomplish all that. And again he was there. "Oh, master, I am at your service. Please tell me what I have to do next. If you don't give me something to do, I will eat you up." अरे जबरदस्ती है यार. I thought I got a boon, I got a genie, good food, everything is in front of me. But I don't have time to eat food, I don't have time to wear clothes, I don't have time to go in my car or my buggy. I don't have the even time to go from one room to the other room to see how beautiful the house is built. Why? I have to keep the genie busy, and he's accomplishing everything at a blink of an eye. He is exasperated. He doesn't know what to do now. He runs back to the Mahatma. He says, "This is what is happening. And the genie is coming after him. I am going to eat you up." Mahatma comes and tells him. The Mahatma calls him close. "Come here." Who? The farmer. Whispers something in his ears. He says, "Go now." And the genie is coming behind. He says, "Yeah, I'll give. Take me to home." The genie took the farmer home. He said, "Now dig a big hole in the backyard." He dug a big hole. Then he said, put a pole which goes as far as you can into the sky." He said, did it in 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds. He did it. "Master, tell me what I have to do next, otherwise I'll eat you up." He said, "Now climb the pole to the top." then come down. Once you have come down, again go to the top. Once you have reached the top, again come down. Till I call you next. Till I call you next. This is the job that you have to do. What is that? Go up and go down, go up and go down, go up and go down. This was the genie of the story. We also have a genie called the mind. It also wants to be busy all the time. But it's busy outside. We haven't made it. It has the capacity to deliver whatever you want. Just like that genie said, I am at your service, but keep me busy, otherwise I'll eat you up. What is that called? Depression, sadness, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, inferiority complex, suicidal attitude, thought fixation, expectations, guilts, I am not good enough. It will eat you up. So what do you do with the mind? Om, 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 Om. Let it climb the pole, let it come down the pole. Let it climb the pole, let it come down the pole. And what is that pole? That pole is of Om, the mantra. So choose wisely. And it is not that suddenly you will enjoy chanting the Om. You may force yourself. Maybe your inclination is towards Shri Om Namah Shivaya. Your inclination is to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. It is okay. Begin somewhere, yaar. At least begin. Let the genie of your mind be busy. Let it not eat you up in worry by making you worried. Worried mind is the genie. So you keep it busy. And once we have become focused, single-pointed on Om, etadhyevaksharam jnatva, having known Om means what? Having come in such a dived into the mantra Om. Dived into the mantra Om. So if your Om is, and your approach to Om is by way of, you're chanting Om and your attention is still on the world, is still on the body, then the maximum you can approach, the maximum you can reach is the Brahma, the etadhyevaksharam Brahma. That is the maximum. That is the Hiranyagarbha sthiti. That is the total creator. See, why you reached only there? Why not the transcendental one? Because you did the upasana of Om. If you do upasana means continuous chanting of Om without understanding the meaning and implication of Om. If you are just with feeling, with faith, you are chanting Om, absolutely good. Nothing wrong with it. The maximum you can do, reach, is the Brahma Lok. But when the same student, the same upasaka, while he is chanting, he is exposed to Upanishads like this one or Mandukya Upanishad, or by grace it comes to him that what is this Om, and starts delving into the meaning, that what it was told that it represents the totality and it represents the absolute. Oh, what is this absolute that it is representing? Why am I only focused on totality? So, is there anything other than the totality? Oh, totality and individuality are at the relative level. Oh, there is one absolute. Yes. When he starts contemplating on the absolute whose symbol is Om with understanding, then he gets merged into the absolute. Because that absolute is within him only, as the pure consciousness, that becomes invoked. And when he is only doing the upasana, sitting near what? An idea of totality, not thinking of the absolute, which is difficult to think because it is without name and without form. It necessarily, the absolute contemplation of the absolute necessarily requires a subjective approach. Contemplation of totality is an objective approach. Contemplation of the individuality or totality is an objective approach. The contemplation on absolute cannot be pursued objectively. Cannot. For that, one has to become subjective, has to take that this Om, what it is representing, what it is indicating, what it is the symbol of, is the pure consciousness, and that pure consciousness I am in essence. Then and then alone the absolute will be realized. Otherwise, Brahmalok is okay. And when our mind has become focused, single pointed on this Om, as an upasaka, as a chanter of this mantra Om, of this symbol Om. Om does not indicate any deity. It is by itself. It is complete in itself. But when we are doing its chanting and our mind becomes focused, concentrated, single pointed on Om, because Om is the absolute on one hand and the relative on the other. And as your mind becomes focused on Om being the relative is equal to totality and individuality, gross and subtle. Whatever is needed by the upasaka, whatever is the requirement of the upasaka as a need, not as a desire, as a need, it automatically gets delivered by the nature, effortlessly. This is how Mahatmas live. This is how Naga Babas live. This is how sannyasis live. They are living demonstrations. They are living demonstrations. See? And this is the way. Etadhyevaksharam Brahma, etadhyevaksharam param, etadhyevaksharam nyatva, yo yadicchati tasya tata, yo yadicchati, yaha yad ichchati. He whoever desires anything, he gets it, and in this manner, excuse me, in this manner, one must contemplate on Om, and this is the first part of the of the explanation of Om. Now second part begins. Let's go to the second verse, 17th verse. कहाँ गया? It's at the Yata eva mataha. This is because this is it is so in this manner, therefore etad alambanam shreshtham, etad alambanam shreshtham, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam param, etad alambanam nyatva, etad alambanam nyatva ब्रह्मलोके महीयते, ब्रह्मलोके महीयते. Together, etadalambanam shreshtham, etadalambanam param, etadalambanam nyatva brahmaloke mahiyate. This is the highest support that one can ever come to. Why only the highest? Etad alambanam shreshtam, etad alambanam param. Not only the highest, it is the supreme most support. So what is the difference between highest and supreme? Highest is for the creator and supreme is for the transcendental, the absolute reality, which is beyond cause and effect, which is beyond relativity, which is beyond totality and individuality. Etadalambanam shreshtham, etadalambanam param, etadalambanam. I got the wrong page. Etadalambanam nyatva, and having known this support, brahmaloke mahiyate. Why only brahmaloke mahiyate? Why only you will attain brahmaloka, the creator's abode? We will talk about it. And the one who has come to know this alambanam, the one who has come to know, what does the word jnatva signify? Does jnatva mean the one who is chanting Om? No. Chanting was the penultimate step. You had to chant so that you become focused. When you become focused, then you can delve into the what you have become focused on and open it layer by layer to see what it stands for, what it is. Just like those who are married, they still have not worked out how their wife functions or the husband functions. Still there is so much to learn. This is only about one partner or one child or some business or your body. What about the whole world? What about God? What about the transcendental? See, we are only stuck here with this body. That also we have not been able to completely ascertain what it is. Why? We are stuck at its level. The only way you can come to know it is you have to raise yourself higher. Then it reveals itself. So here it says, the one who has come to know this this Om, he is praised, he is eulogized, he is respected and revered even in the abode of the Creator, meaning in the whole world. Is that not the case of the various saints and sages? Take Raman Maharshi, take Ramakrishna Paramahansa, take Anandamayi Ma, take Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, take Swami Chinmayananda, take Mahavatar Baba, Swami Akhandanand ji, Udiya Baba ji, Neem Karoli Baba ji, Heda Khan Baba ji, so many of them. And all these, you can still today, you are lucky that today you can press only few words on the computer in YouTube and you can see their videos. You can see live, not live, but you can see them moving, talking, expressing. The generation, 2 generations before, this was not possible. It was only hearsay. It was only, you have to imagine in your own mind when you read the books, oh, there was this Mahatma and it was such like that. Oh, okay. That you can see. And all these Mahatmas, the world puts them on a high pedestal. Why? Why? Because they have become one. They have come to know the meaning of Om. They have come to know. Again, I will explain. So whether you have come to know the totality or you have come to know the absolute, you become an instrument through whom the infinite is seen as expressing by the masses. And wonderful things happen without you wishing, without you willing, without you wanting, without you desiring. You are a mirror. Anyone who comes, it gets reflected, healing happens, knowledge happens, words come out. You are one with everything. Words come out. You have the equanimous vision. And such people, such masters, masters who have come to know the Om, they are praised not only on this earth. Brahma means, what does Brahma means? In the whole world. So either you take it as the abode of the Creator, which you and me have not seen, or you take it as our world is this world at this moment, and everyone and all. You see Mahatmas like Ravi Shankar and Ammachi and Sadguru and Chinmayanandji and Vivekanandji, they go to Parliament of World Religions. Wherever they go, the senators call them to the Parliament, and the British Parliament and Indian Parliament. They go and give lectures there and come. Why they are called? Why they are called to European Union Parliament and to address them? There must be something that they have seen in them. That this person is propagating only good ethics and morals, that's all. He has a higher vision. He is able to mobilize masses for a higher good. Not mobilize masses for killing and plundering. This religion versus that religion, no. He is able to, such people are able to mobilize for people to become confident and have a dignity in who they are and work towards the higher good, which is good for all, not just for a certain community or a certain religion or a certain sect. Sometimes that is also seen, but in general they are for the whole good. The greater the abidance in Om, greater is his expression. See, I told you last week, someone was chanting Hanuman Chalisa. He had faith in Hanuman Chalisa only to find lost and found things. So that is their capacity, and it works every time for them. But who are these masters? They don't want anything. They have become empty because they have merged with the Om. They have become at one ment with the Om. And what is Om? The transcendental as well as the relative. So what has this Mahatma become now? He knows that he is the transcendental and nothing in this relative can enslave him. He is the master of the relative. Who is such a person called? Ishvara. Isn't it? Ishvara knows that he is the Parabrahma Paramatma, and at the same time he has his potentiality under his control. The day we, by focusing on Om as a seeker, with understanding, with contemplation, come to be one with Om, meaning there is no, initially there is no other thought other than Om in our mind, and then we contemplate on that Om because there is no other thought to distract and disturb. So we contemplate on the what do you call, on the pregnant implications of what Om stands for, the absolute and the relative and the total. And that we apply subjectively, that I am. Nisargadatta Maharaj, I am that, was his realization. When that becomes your realization as a seeker, such a person then is praised all over, and in this manner. Let's read whatever, maybe I've already covered it, but let's see. Etad alambanam etad brahma praptyalambananam shreshtham prashasya tamam. This among all the supports, what are other supports? One of the support is Om Bhurbhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. That is one of the support. When you get the thread ceremony, you are given that, isn't it? To support you have to chant it 3 times a day. Oh, no, chant it as many times, but 3 times a day. Maybe do a whole rosary. And it is and what is that done for? Gayatri mantra and all, it is done for the attainment of the totality of the Brahmaji, of the Creator. So among all the other mantras, Om is the most potent one. Om is the most praised one. Om is the most well, we can say it is the simplest one. You don't have to remember Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Tapaha, all those, the whole thing. Only Om. Just now one kid, he is now 14 years old, and they said, Swamiji, we want to give him, initiate him into Gayatri and thread ceremony and this and that, and I went and I gave the boy also and the daughter also and the sister also. And they were just flying. So I said, okay, now you are flying. Are you practicing Gayatri Mantra? Yes, we are doing practicing Gayatri Mantra 21 times every day. That is enough for them. At least they do that much. I said, I will make your life easier while you are traveling. How do you make it easier? Wherever you are, chant 21 times Om. The father immediately says, I mean, don't tell them. They are doing it. Why you are giving them an easier way to do it? At least they will do it. See, एक पद गायत्री, ओम, द्विपद सोहम, त्रिपद गायत्री ओम भूर्भुवः स्वाहा. This is Tripada Gayatri. What about 4? No, there is nothing after that. Only these 3. Then it says, Etad alambanam parama param cha parapara brahma vishayatvat. The nature of this Om is transcendental as para and apara. It is transcendental and total. So, because its topic, what it is all about, what it is suggesting is the transcendental as well as the total. And therefore, it is of the nature of transcendental and total, that we told in the previous verse. Para apara brahma vishayatvat. Brahma, see, Brahma, okay, let it, when we come to that, we will see. Etad alambanam nyatva brahma loke mahiyate parasmin brahmani. Meaning, that by knowing this support, what is the support? Om is the support. By knowing this support, the seeker, the contemplator, attains to Brahmalok, the totality, or he becomes established in Parabrahma, he becomes established in the transcendental reality, the absolute reality, and as a result, Brahmaloke mahiyate parasmin brahmani, and as a result of that is praised and looked up to everywhere in the world. And parasmin cha brahma bhuto brahmavad upasyo bhavati iti arthaha. And moreover, when he has come to know the relative, that means he has come to know the Brahma as the totality, not just the transcendental, but as the totality. Then how did he reach the totality? I told you in the previous explanation before I started reading this Bhashya, that by doing Upasana, he attains to Brahmalok. By merging into Om with understanding and knowledge, he attains, and subjectively, he attains the transcendental, he attains the absolute. He merges into he becomes the absolute as the absolute. So when he does Upasana and reaches the Brahmalok, that is the abode of the Creator, and this Creator has created the whole creation, so that entire creation starts looking up to this person who has attained the Brahmalok, the totality, and thus in the entire world he is praised and looked up to. So here, what is the main crux that we need to understand? Can anyone tell me what you have just now heard? What is the main crux of it? By taking the support of Om, what is the crux? What did you understand? In short, Otherwise, you will give me a lecture. I'll go to sleep like you are going to sleep. I will take revenge. Tell me, someone.
If Om is chanted objectively by like keeping the focus on the Brahma or the totality, you reach the totality. And if Om is chanted with understanding and knowledge of Om, we abide in the absolute.
Sashtang pranam to you, Mate. Perfect.
Swamiji.
Perfect. That is the crux of this verse. That if anyone does upasana, upasana is repetitive chanting. Understanding may be there, may not be there, but it is done objectively because you are the chanter and Om is the chanted. The merging between you and the Om has not taken place yet. That merging will only take place when understanding comes about. So if mechanically you are chanting or with faith and devotion you are chanting Om and you do get into Samadhi, etc., it will take, what is the maximum that you will reach? Brahmalok, the totality, the abode of the Creator. And when we do the same, then do we need to do continuous chanting? Yes, initially you do continuous chanting so that you keep all the other unwanted thoughts to diffuse them, to neutralize them. You need that. See, understand one thing. Om is, I told you last week, I'll repeat it. Om is the natural vibration of the entire creation. This Om is the natural vibration which is pervading you at this moment. Everything has come out of Om. Remember, Om is the support. And what is it? What is it? What is its nature? Transcendental as well as the relative. So out of Om came, last time I told you, came the vowels, came the alphabet, consonants, then words are formed, and when a word comes in your mouth, then that object is expressed in the creation. So for whatever, if there is no word in your mouth, there is no creation. If there is a creation, there will be a word in your mind or mouth. See. So without words, there is no
backups for 344 days.
Without words, there is no creation. So now you are not choosing to remember the various names, aspects of the world. You are choosing that which includes all the variety. And what is that? Why includes? Not only includes, which is the essence of the entire variety, and that is of the nature of the variety, and at the same time is of the nature of the transcendental. Now, if we are little bit gray matter between our 2 ears, then isn't it smarter to hold on to Om than go after anything else? Easier, simple, less exhausting, and just like every word has a vibration. If I say Usha, Usha has a vibration. If I say laptop, laptop, every word that is uttered by our mouth or is thought by our mind has a certain vibration. Om has its own vibration. And what is this vibration? All-inclusiveness. And when you are chanting it, you are becoming one with that sahaja vibration, that natural vibration of the entire of the universe. Which universe? The transcendental and the relative, both. That which is beyond the universe and that which is manifest. Meaning, for us it is manifest and unmanifest, both. Om is Om is of the nature of both. See? So when we chant Om, if you chant Ram, whether you like it or not, the picture of Ram will come in your mind. But when you chant Om, nothing, only the vibration, no distraction. Because if Ram comes, then the bow will come, then the arrows will come, then the Sita will come, then the Hanumanji will come, then the Lakshman will come, then the Pitambar will come, then the paraphernalia comes. But when you chant Om, where is your attention going on? Only on vibration. Only on the vibration of the Om. Only on the chanting of Om. See? So when the seeker comes to realize his identity with the truth subjectively through Om, through chanting of Om, contemplating on Om, he comes to know the Absolute as the Self. As the Self. And how does he come to know this? Without a thought. This is very important point. He comes to know it without a thought. How can you come to know without a thought? Get there and find out. Get there and find out. No, we want to understand first. You are now talking like I want to learn swimming before I get into water. It is not going to be possible. You have to take the jump. So until and unless we don't jump into chanting Om to the exclusion of everything else, and then realizing the import of the syllable Om, what it stands for, on one hand the vibration will keep purifying you, on the other hand your mind is becoming focused, and as this goes on, then somewhere along the way the contemplation will begin. If that intention is there, if the attention is on the world, then that intention that I want to know what that transcendental is, that will not appear. That will not be invoked. Then maximum Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Maximum the totality. So in this manner, Adi Shankaracharya says in the beginning of the 18th verse, which is a very famous verse. Now this background, understand, where did it begin from? It began from where are we? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat krita krutat. Remember that? Or you forgotten? Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha yattat pashyasi tadvada. Our Nachiketa, he is contemplating on what? He is contemplating on the nature of Om subjectively. He wants to know that. But to get to that, he understands, but he doesn't know how to come to realize that transcendental reality subjectively. And therefore he says, Anyatra dharmat, tell me that which is transcendental to everything, transcendental to dharma, adharma, past and future, doing and undoing, cause and effect. Tell me that which is beyond all this, which is transcendental to all this. How do I get that? As long as this question is there in our mind, how do I? What is it? How do I come to know? Till then, we need some support, because this question is there in the mind needs some support. It is not enough, you are that. Because if you, yes, you can. If you have the capacity, I am that, okay, how am I that? Start contemplating. Every Upanishad gives you a different angle of approach to the same reality. Ishavasya midagam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagada. That one reality is pervading the entire. It moves without moving, it is complete, etc. Keno Upanishad, what is that which inspires everything in this creation? He says it is the eye of the eye, it is the ear of the ear, it is the tongue of the tongue, it is the pranas of the prana, it is the mind of the mind. Another way of approach. Why don't you tell straightforward, this is how I can? It is your problem how to understand. It is not my job to teach. You asked me a question, I am answering. I am only answering what my teacher taught me, and the rest was left to me. I had to sit and realize, yes, I can guide, but you ask me the pertinent questions directly proportional to the quality of the question, the intensity of the question, the manner in which the question is asked, the reply will come to you. Now in Katha Upanishad, questions were asked by Nachiketa. And what is the question? He has already worked out, he doesn't want the world. The whole creation was given to him, he doesn't want it. So he has gone beyond Brahma, he has gone beyond totality. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want any of the seven higher planes of existences. He says, I want that which is beyond all this. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat krita kritata, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yat tat pashyasi tadvada. Tell me what you see. I know you know, teacher. I want to know your direct experience. I don't want you to repeat the books. Books I have also read. I have also attended satsang in my Gurukul, where my father is my teacher. And I have been a fairly good student. We saw that in the beginning chapter. So I don't want to be distracted by anything. I want to know that. And then because he wants to know, the Lord of Death gives him that what you are seeking, what you want to know, what is that which is beyond all opposites? Past, future, righteous, unrighteousness, doing, undoing, not doing, is Om. And understand, now he has told what? Om is of the nature of transcendental as well as the total. Total, Nachiket has already rejected. He has already rejected it. So his focus is on transcendental. But for his benefit, so that no loose ends are left behind, he explains to him that Om is of the nature of transcendental and relative, or the total, and those who know Om are eulogized, are praised, are looked up to by all in the creation. See? And then here he says, Anyatra dharmad ityadini dina पृष्ठस्यात्मनो शेष विशेष रहितस्य आलम्बनत्वेन प्रतीकत्वेन च ओंकारः निर्दिष्टः अपरस्य च ब्रह्मणो मंदमध्यम अप्रतिपत्रून् प्रति अपरस्य च ब्रह्मणो मंदमध्यम अप्रतिपत्रून् प्रति अथेदानीं तस्य ओंकारालंबनस्य आत्मनः साक्षात् स्वरूप निर्दिधारयिषया idam uchyate. So here he says that where are we? We are in the 18th verse, isn't it? So he says that the Lord of Death is saying that, or Adi Shankaracharya, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya is saying that by this Anyatra Dharmat verse, etc., that shloka which Nachiketa had asked, that he wanted to know that which is beyond the specificity. पृष्ठस्यात्मनः अशेष विशेष रहितस्य आलम्बन. अशेष विशेष रहितस्य. So he wants to know that which is beyond all specificity. So all the 14 planes of existences, all the way up to the Creator, whether you take Sri Ram, whether you take Sri Krishna, whether you take Shiva, whether you take Narayana, whether you take whoever, Gadapati, they are all specific. They have a specific form. You may say it is it represents the non-specific. But if you contemplate on that form, you will reach that loka, Ganapati lok. What will you do there? Keep eating laddus. See? So here what did it say? Sarva Vishe Ashesha Vishesha Rahitasya Alambatvena Pratikattvena. That which indicates that which is beyond all specificity. And how does specificity express itself? Micro and macro, individuality and totality. You got it? The consciousness expressing through individual waker is called Vishwa. Consciousness expressing through the total waker is called Virat. Virat means the most expansive, that which is pervading everything, the bigger than the biggest. The consciousness which is expressing through the dream body, dream state, is called as Taijasa, the spark. The consciousness expressing through the total dream body is called Brahmaji, the creator. the consciousness expressing through the individual deep sleep state is called as prajna. The consciousness expressing through the total deep sleep state is called Ishvara. All these are specific, individual and total. Individual consciousness at waking, dream, deep sleep, consciousness at total waking, total dream, total sleep. All specific. Nachiket doesn't want any one of them. He wants that which is beyond. So, Adi Shankaracharya says, to indicate that, to the support for that which is without any specificity and beyond specificity, that pratikattvena cha omkaraha nirdishtaha, for that para and apara Brahma, we had the indication or the pratik, the indication of Om was given, the support of Om was given, and thereafter, now, that once you have come to know this Omkar, this another word for Omkar is Pranava. Pranava is also another name for Omkar. And for what is this Omkar the support of? That Atma. Because we need the support, no? Absolute does not need the support of Omkar. Brahmaji doesn't need the support of Omkar. Who has to chant Omkar? Who wants to know? Brahmaji wants to know. The totality wants to know, no? We want to know. Who are we essentially? The untouched, pure self. Imagining ourselves to be an individual on account of identification with this body. This wrong conclusion about ourselves that I am this body. You have to get into the shoes of Nachiket. Can't think like who you are right now. So while being the body, I am inspired to know the infinite, and I don't know how to contemplate on that transcendental which is formless and attributeless and qualityless, which is all pervasive. I don't know. How do I contact it? How do I touch it? How do I contemplate on it? Because anything I do, then that will take me into the mind. That will take me into the world. Words are about the words will generate more words, then I'll get lost in the words. One simple word, laptop, immediately, oh, it is an Apple laptop, oh, it has got this much, this is the whole genesis, the whole kundali comes out. If I think of Ravi, immediately Usha will come in the mind, Manodnya will come in my mind, all other thoughts will come. And therefore the question, Anyatra dharmat, Anyatra dharmat. That's why that question was asked by Nachiket. So Adi Shankaracharya says that this Omkar, here it says, अथेदानीं तस्य ओंकार आलम्बनस्य आत्मनः साक्षात् स्वरूप निर्धार यशया idam uchyate. Now so that you can see now the technology, the technique here is that you have to understand this Omkar is the subjective self. You have taken your Atma is the infinite by nature. You are considering yourself to be the Jivatma. You have taken the support of Om. You have taken the support of Om to know that you are the infinite one. Can you know the infinite one out there in the world, above the clouds, in the sky, like a diamond in the sky? No. You have to know that infinite one as the self that I am. So that Om is the support and the pratik. It was told it was alambanam and pratik. Pratik is indicate. It is just like, example, just like we have our Indian flag, the tricolor flag with the Ashok chakra in between. In the moment, Janagana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata. The moment this verse comes out, looking at the flag, or you look at the flag, horripilations come, the love for the land, called Bharat, the culture, the traditions, the ancient culture, everything, whatever it. So, what is that entire subcontinent represented by? The tricolor flag, isn't it? So, whenever I remember in school, every day, every day we had to chant Janagana Mana. 26th January, we used to have the flag hoisting in the school itself. But that made us proud of our country. Through that flag, we get in touch with the country. Is flag the country? No, the flag is made up of cloth. No, the flag is painted with some colors and some design in between called Ashok Chakra with the spokes and a wheel. But what it represents, what it indicates, what it stands for is the entire country with all its diversity, with all its population, with all its languages, with all its various cuisines, with all its traditions, with all its saints, with all its beauty and pilgrimage places, everything. Exactly the same way. When you think of the flag and feel connected to the country, when you chant Om, do you feel connected to yourself? That's the question. That's the point our Adi Shankaracharya ji is trying to convey. Remember, Om is the symbol and Om is the representation, is of the nature. Now, that example of flag has its limitations because it is an object, it is hanging on a pole, it is made up of cloth. Similarly, don't misunderstand that Om is only what you are chanting. What Om you are chanting is the only gross representation of that natural sound which is permeating the entire creation, which is of the nature of the transcendence and the totality. There is nothing outside Om. There is nothing outside Om. So that unstruck sound becomes becomes grossified in your mouth as Om. But what is it indicating? It is indicating the self. What is its nature? So from Om again, when you chant Om, Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. Where will you end up in Para? The self. If you do it with understanding, fantastic. Otherwise, Brahma ji ki jai. See? Otherwise, Brahma ji ki jai. Enjoy the highest heaven. So to recognize Omkar as the self, to establish this, now the next verse is being told. See how systematically it is going. Keep reading again and again, and then just sit with the contemplation. So how through Om we establish, we become established in the Atma as the Atma. And what is the nature of this Atma? Because right now you are Jivatma. Who is Jivatma? Who is born, who is dying, who is young, who was young, who grew, who is getting old, who is diseased, who is going to die one day, who has these issues, problems, past, future, etc., etc. That is the Jivatma, isn't it? So here one of the most famous verses, and from this Upanishad then it was taken directly into our Bhagavad Gita. In the second chapter it is taken. Let's read this one. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschet. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschet. Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano. Ajosh nitya shashvatoyam purano. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Together. Na jayate mriyate va vipaschit. Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So similar verse comes in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, and here this verse goes on to say, Na jayate mriyate. Our biggest problem is birth and death. That's what we are stuck in. Everyone is excited with birth and everyone is depressed in death. So here, the first indicator, how do you contemplate why on Om? Because Om is complete. How do you apply it when it is the representative of the subjective self? So what is this subjective self? Na jayate mriyate va vipaschet. This self, this atmic self, is neither born nor does it die. Jayate, born, mriyate, dies. Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschita. Nor did it originate from anywhere, from anything, nor did it nor did anything originate from it. Bhakti Gul. Nothing originated from that infinite reality, the absolute reality. Oh, but what about this relative, the totality and individuality? That, throw it out. Then who am I really? I am that which is ever, who is ever the same, without any change. This was done in the first Upanishad, second Upanishad that we did, Ishavasya. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. This Atma is complete. This Atma is Purna. There is nothing lacking in it. Nothing is born from it. Nothing is created out of it. So this Atma, the self that I am, what is your belief right now? Or your meaning, every one of ours belief? That we are born from our parents. I have to do duty to my parents. How will life, what will society say if I don't take care of my parents? Each one comes with their own prarabdha. But if you keep saying that I am not going to take care of my parents, why? I studied Bhagavad Gita, I studied the Upanishad, that I am neither born, I am neither die, I was not born from my mother, I was not born from my father. Without realizing the self, only lip service is done as an escapism. Then big problem. These thoughts happen on the seat of meditation. They don't happen outside. But Swamiji, you are saying it outside. Yes, we are in a satsang, open-eyed meditation going on. Hopefully, everyone is focused. See. So how do you function when you are out there in the world? With love, compassion, empathy, devotion. Considering everything to be an expression of the self. Then what would you do? There is no question of you doing anything. It has to happen. But for it to happen, first you need to abide in the self as the self. So, na jayate mriyate va vipaschit, nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. So, it did not originate. So, it is free of cause and effect. It is not an effect of anything. A wave is an effect of ocean. Ocean is the cause. The self is not an effect. Oh, self is not born. No, self is not born. But I was born from the mother. That is, your body was born. Did she create the life in the body? She created the body. Parents created the body. But where did the life come from? You created the walls of the house. Did you fill the space inside the house? Did you fill up cup by cup, bucket by bucket, or hose pipe into the house? Chalo bhai, now I have to fill it up with the space so that I can live inside the walls. Did you create the space? Did you bring the space? Did you create the space? No. Same way, all the parents did. This is for an advanced contemplator. If you contemplate like this, then you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi is not a cloth, a color, a initiation. No. Sannyasi is where you have renounced. You have totally absorbed in the source that you are, again and again and again and again. And these are the thoughts that occur, are the contemplations that are going on in the mind of the sannyasi. He never deviates from the subject matter. What is the subject? The absolute self. So you are not the cause. Oh, if you think I'm the soul, they say the soul travels, and get out of all that. You are in a Upanishad. If those type of thoughts are going on in your mind, and this is not, you are not able to digest this, then go away and listen to something else where Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Where the past life, this life, future life, we are not into all that. At this stage in Upanishads do not propagate past life and future life. Upanishads propagate only one, that is the absolute reality. All thoughts in the Upanishads bring you to that absolute reality, and that absolute reality you are, Tattvamasi. That is the only purpose of the Upanishads, to wake you up to yourself, to the true you, to make you be established in your essential nature. So now, how free, oh my God, I was not born, I am a continuous one. Yes, you are continuous one. So what was the childhood? Childhood was of the body. What was teenage? Body was teenager. Youth, body was youthful. Old age, disease, all for the body. Hunger, thirst, for the body. Likes, dislikes, for the mind. Oh, that is, and I am not that. No, you are not that. Whose problem is that? Parents. Let them take care of the body. You created the body, you take care of the body. I am going. I am free. This contemplation like this will get invoked. Now you have heard it. When you are absolutely at one ment with the Om while chanting, and when no thoughts are there to disturb, at that time these thoughts will get invoked in your contemplation. And what is that? I am the unborn one. Om. I am the undying one. Om. नहीं तो हम सिर्फ अचार चटनी में ही फंसे रहते हैं. So, Nayam kutaschinna babhuva kaschit. It did not originate from anything, and nor did anything originate from it. What does it mean that nothing originated from the self? From the water, has the ocean come out or the wave come out? From water's point of view, there is no ocean, there is no wave. Then for whom is the ocean and the wave? For us idiots who have given a name to the infinite waters based upon the land mass, that this is Indian Ocean, this is Atlantic Ocean, this is Southern Ocean, this is Pacific Ocean, this is Bay of Bengal. It is all because of the land mass around it. Just as this house occupying this space is called this address. What about the next? But the space is the same. But your attention is on the house. There is a different address there. So the consciousness is the same in you, in you, in you, in you, in me. Consciousness is same. But where is your attention? On the specificity. Electricity is the same behind all the bulbs, but where is your attention? On the specific bulbs. Water is the same behind all oceans and waves, but where is your attention? On the total specificity and the individual specificity called the wave. So where does the specificity exist? It exists in its own absence. Just as the famous example of a snake and the rope. Till you don't know the rope, you are afraid of the snake all night. Oh, yaar, there is a snake, there is a snake. Take the stick and hit there, hit there. The snake keeps going here and there. Someone comes, why are you creating such a racket in the house in the middle of the night? Oh, there is a snake there and I'm trying, it's coming towards me, it's writhing here and there and I'm hitting it. The intelligent wife comes, puts the light on. You feel foolish that where has the snake gone? Where has the snake gone? The one who was hitting on the snake all night, the moment light came on, there was no snake, there was only rope. Could he have known that without the light? No. Did he do anything to remove the snake after the light was put on? No. So where was the snake? Existing in its own absence. It was a projection of his mind on the rope. So it is our projection of our mind on the water, ocean and wave. Actually, what is there? Only water. It is our projection that there is body, breath, mind, intellect, individuality, totality. Oh my God. It seems to be that way. At this moment also, it seems to be that way. But when we, from all this multitude of thoughts, we come to one thought. What is that? Om. So what is happening? Now you are putting your finger into the socket. You want to know the electricity which is behind all the lights. So you put on the wall, you put on the bulb, you put on the switch. You are not going to experience electricity. You have to go to the source, man. You have to go to the live wire. And once you come to know that, So same thing you are doing. You are moving away from everything and going to the source. How you are doing it? By holding on or by chanting, by thinking, contemplating on the alambana of Om. It is and Om itself is the infinite and the totality. So you can't go wrong, man. It's already covering both. It's already covering both. Because it is of the nature of both. And when we talk about relativity, in that relativity, this body also comes. Don't think that, totality, relative, and individuality. This is the total relative. It is not outside. This body, breath, mind, intellect is also a part of it. This equipment is also a part of it. And we have to wean ourselves away from this equipment and come to the source, because by touching the body I am not able to know the self. By focusing on the breath I am not able to know the self. By focusing on the thoughts I am not able to know the self. Then how? By inference, by similes, by examples, by continuous japa, I am not able to know the self. Then what to do? Think like this. How do you convert Om? By taking the support of the Om, how do you convert it into a subjective experience? When you think like this, you can never get into a Jada Samadhi. It's not possible only. हो गया time. We'll look the second part of the verse. We'll look at it in our next class. ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया, बता देना चाहिए. ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम. Sit quietly for a few moments.